Welcome back to the Law and Crime Network. I'm Angelica Spano. So over the weekend, we had an absolutely stunning development with Jeffrey Epstein. The famous multimillionaire and accused pedophile was found dead inside his Manhattan jail cell on Saturday morning. The death is under investigation, and the coroner is confident that this was a suicide by Epstein hanging himself. But we still have a lot of unanswered questions, and we want to dig into this further. Attorney General William Barr said that he will move forward with a full investigation on all of this.
I was appalled, and indeed the whole department was, and frankly, angry to learn of the MCC's failure to adequately secure this prisoner. But let me assure you that this case will continue on against anyone who was complicit with Epstein. Any co-conspirators should not rest easy. The victims deserve justice, and they will get it.
All right, joining us now to break all of this down is Cameron Lindsay, a retired federal prison warden. Cameron, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
All right, first question here. How does an investigation like this even begin? You have someone in federal prison, a high-profile person. Obviously, this is a system that has a lot of rules and regulations here. Where does this investigation go, and how does it start?
Well, it looks like there are going to be some unusual investigations here. First of all, anytime there's a suicide, an inmate suicide within the Federal Bureau of Prisons, what the agency typically does is assigns an after-action investigative team to go in and do what they call suicide autopsy. In this case, though, given the totality of the circumstances involved, obviously the Attorney General is involved and is obviously upset, as he should be, over this issue. So in addition to the Bureau of Prisons after-action investigation, it looks like there's going to be simultaneous investigations, not only by the FBI, but the Inspector General of the United States. So it's very, very unusual.
All right, and since this all happened, we've learned of a few shortcomings of the workers in this federal prison. A lot of news outlets reporting that guards were sleeping on the job, that they were not doing checks in the time frames that they were supposed to go on every 30 minutes, and that they were even recording things inaccurately. How does that play into this? What do you know about that with your experience?
Well, if it's true, it's very unsettling. It's very disturbing. I'm not going to say these kinds of things do not happen in correctional facilities, but there's no excuse for it. They call sleeping on duty in the Bureau of Prisons inattention to duty, and it is a grave error, as a serious allegation with respect to the Bureau of Prisons code of conduct. You know, a couple of things are coming to mind here. First of all, I believe that we have got to improve the staff to inmate ratio within the Federal Bureau of Prisons. Being a correctional officer, being a correctional worker is a very arduous job. It's very difficult. So I think Congress is going to have to really take a close look at this and start loosening the purse strings. The Bureau of Prisons needs more money, it needs more staffing, and it needs leadership. With respect to staff members sleeping on duty, there really is no excuse for that, and those individuals should be held accountable. However, very frankly, I see this as a leadership issue. Had supervisory staff, the leadership staff of the facility, been intimately involved in getting through the unit where Epstein was, I seriously doubt that staff would have been sleeping on duty in that case. So I think for me, it all boils down to an issue of money, positions, and leadership.
All right, and we are eagerly waiting to see an autopsy report as well as probably a toxicology report. How long does that typically take? And with this case, what do you know about a timeline that we could be looking at here?
Well, I would expect something to come out at any time. I have no direct knowledge of that, of course, but I would be surprised if we didn't hear something within the coming days ahead.
All right, any last thoughts on this? Final things you want to add?
Well, it's a shocking development. It's going to be very interesting to see where it goes.
All right. Thank you so much, Cameron Lindsay, a retired federal prison warden. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, ma'am.